There, it's Denise again from Managing Salespeople and New Manager Secrets, and continuing with the motivation series, and this is video 2, and we're talking about motivation, which fundamentally for us in sales is how to actually get your team to sell more. So let's just have a quick recap on some of the things that we covered before and in the last video, which was a few days ago now, at the back end of last week. First of all, don't ask your team what motivates them. And I've had a couple of emails about this, and the reason is that when you ask somebody what motivates them, they tend to get on the defensive. And one of the reasons they do this is because they're having to process information in a particular type of way. Because what motivates us is very much at our core and is often at a really unconscious level. So it's your job as a manager to actually bring that out, and there are lots of ways to do that, and one of those is to actually engage with your team. Treat them like one of your best customers. Now, a number of you guys are ex-salespeople. In fact, I think the majority of you, from the information that you've given us. So I know you'll all have a real sense of what you used to do with your best customers and how much information you knew about them and how you managed to use that when you were persuading them. So top tip for you there. And when you're talking to your team, give them individual attention and listen. Just really listen to their answers. So that's a quick recap. So let's have a look at some of the motivation challenges for sales managers, and we covered a few of them last week, or we mentioned a few of them, and I want to focus on one in particular today, and that's appraisal and reward. So selection and recruitment, yeah, there's motivation challenges around that if you choose the wrong person, but I think that's the subject for another time. Lack of engagement and lack of management skills. Well, just purely and simply by accessing the blog and looking at some of the information that we have, then you're going to improve your management skills. And the sheep dip and lack of engagement, all bases around the same thing fundamentally in how you treat your people. But let's just look at appraisal and reward, and some of the things that sales professionals that you're managing might be saying to themselves about the appraisal and reward system. So first one is, I won't be rewarded as I'm not good enough. Now that's quite interesting, because many people think that no matter how hard they try, it's not going to work. And part of that is because of their skill level, because you think, well, I'm not particularly good at this job anyway, and I'm not getting any better because my sales manager doesn't spend any time with me, so how am I ever going to improve? So that's what a sort of mindset that people often have. It's not performance related, and this can be quite complicated for people. In their head they have it that it doesn't matter how they perform, then it's never going to make a difference, and often it's all to do with absolute and relative performance and absolute and relative rewards as well, because for some people in their mind it's how long they've been there and they should be earning more, and they work really hard anyway. And as a sales manager, you need to recognize if that's an element that's in particular people in your sales team, and think about how you're going to actually deal with it. I want promotion, not vouchers. I want to work for an organisation, and it was very interesting how they used to reward people. And we had a number of our team members who didn't drink. And one of the great things that a particular sales manager I had used to feel it was the best thing ever to just basically take everybody else out and get them drunk, which, you know, in some cultures is really good, and you know, I do enjoy a glass of wine myself, I have to say. However, for some of the team members, they found it quite insulting, and that wasn't actually rewarding them. So think about the appraisal and reward system that you utilise with the different members of staff that you have. Nobody notices what I do. Again, this comes back to your individual team members feeling valued and feeling recognised, and it's so easy to not appreciate the buttons that people have that you can press and really make a difference with them. So make sure that you're noticing your team members and what they're doing. Now then, This is an interesting one. My boss doesn't like me. Because we're all human beings and we're all incredibly insecure, aren't we? And sales professionals are some of the most insecure people I have ever met, because they're very performance related and they measure themselves so much. And if you just happen not to spend a lot of time with them, well, they read it, they have a meaning for that, or they make a meaning out of that, which isn't necessarily the truth. However, they can often perceive that if you don't spend time with them, if you're not out coaching them, that you don't like them. If they can't get hold of you on the phone and chat through things with you, and there could be any number of reasons for that, then they get this thing in their mind that you actually don't like them. You know, when people spend a lot of time on their own, they can actually blow things out of all proportion, and particularly salespeople. So, you know, really bear that one in mind. So, let's just look at what you can do, and I'll talk about the really top tip at the end. If you're going to reward your team members, make it relevant and think about what motivates them. Is it money? Yeah. Is it recognition? Is it development? I remember I had one guy that was obsessed with having, we used to have an incentive scheme where people went on a trip into Europe, actually, which was fantastic, and that actually meant more to him, because he wanted to take his wife away, than actually a pay rise. Now that may sound bizarre, I know, but for him it made a huge difference. Recognition, even if it's just something so small as sending a quick email around to the team and saying, Fred's done really well, they've done blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. Remember, a lot of salespeople can be very ego-driven. That can make a huge difference to them and can really just press the right button for the motivation. Development. A lot of people, I think we referred to it last week when we were talking about Anita and Graham as examples, that Anita was very keen to get on and wanted to learn and grow, and development might be more important to that person than a pay rise, and even just giving them a little bit of responsibility in the team can make a huge difference. So use it, use what you have, because quite often it's not going to break the bank. If you base it on facts and look at, you know, which team members are motivated in different ways. And hey, I'm not saying you need to motivate everyone and you need to make sure that everyone gets lots and lots of rewards. It needs to be relevant. If someone's doing something, they're doing it well, recognize it. If they're not doing it well, that's another issue, isn't it? So spend time developing your team. Real top tip here, and I know as sales managers, so many other things you've got to do: forecasting, answering emails, blah de blah de blah de blah de blah. The best time from a leverage point of view that you spend with your team is vital. So next video, and we just covered a few things there for you on motivation. There's an awful lot more to cover, which we will be doing in future videos and in the forthcoming products that we're going to be selling over the next couple of years. And in the next video, it's for new and aspiring sales managers. And is this really the job for you? So we're going to write a nice little presentation for you, and just maybe some thoughts about, you know, why you might want the job. Now you're in it, what are the things that you need to bear in mind? So hope you're just enjoying these small snapshots, and tell us what you think. Post on the blog, and it's below here, managingsalespeople.com, and watch out for announcement in the next few days, because we're going to be sending you some more videos, but there's a great opportunity to win something absolutely free. But post on the blog, tell us what you're thinking, tell us about some of the challenges you're having in motivating people, and hopefully you might be able to answer them in the next few days. So look out for the next video, which will be coming in a couple of days time, and enjoy the rest of the week. All right then, take care.